welcome everybody to Clinical Hypnosis Australia. Today I'm talking to Sue. Now, Sue, your website is all about you have a choice under any circumstances. So, Sue, tell us what it is that you do and why is it that we have a choice?
Wow, yes, I believe that we all born to have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And that is actually linked back a little bit of my backstory. So
Mm.
I born in Japan and I actually come to Australia from Hong Kong 10 years ago. My parents left me when I was 8 months old. And so during grow up, I have experienced different diversity and depression and abuse.
Mm.
Then I start my self-healing journey when I'm pretty young in 14. So
Oh,
after I grow up, and then I start thinking, um, like what makes me to be empowered and be like a powerhouse? People usually
where do you
describe me
get
as
that from?
powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where I get that from, and I give the credit back to I actually chose to self-help and having those belief that we are stronger than our circumstances.
Mm, yep.
And yeah, and that's why I've been keep telling people that empower them. You have a choice no matter what.
Mhm. And even
Yeah,
if that choice is uncomfortable because you've got to be mean to someone or you've got to go, oh, no, I don't approve, it's still part
absolutely.
of the journey.
Absolutely. Because sometimes we have to be truthful to our soul as well. And
Mhm,
sometimes we have to make uncomfortable conversation or decision.
mhm.
And one thing I learned through my journey is when every time we stretch our comfort zone, we will have to experience some discomfort or
Yeah,
uncomfortable for us to grow.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It can be difficult to understand that they've got a choice, especially when it comes to a mother, a father, or a partner figure. So how do you
Yes,
navigate to help people with that field? Because these people are, they're close and it's difficult.
yes. Yes, it is. I think it's come down to a few points that first, we all born as individuals,
Mhm.
and individuals have our own unique story, thinking, belief. However, growing in a different environment, we might absorb different of the values from either partner or strong as parents.
Mhm.
However, when we grow up, we can have a choice to choose what fit us the most.
Mhm.
And we can actually drop out some, or we call it unlearning some of the things that are not relevant to our growth anymore.
And I think that's some of the keys to it as well is the unlearning. So many of us believe that once we've learned something, that's it. That's the way it is, the way it's always going to be. I remember years and years ago when I had a mentor on board, they said to me, look, somebody's always going to say you're doing it wrong, but it's only
Mm,
because they haven't thought about it from a different perspective. And the funny part is that at the time when my mentor was telling me that, I had my little laptop on my massage table. And when my mentor was telling me that, my cat sat on top of the $10 Kmart white heater and just sat there looking at me. And I'm like, when you're doing it wrong, but only you can question yourself about that.
yes, and the bottom line is who set the ruler of what rights and wrong.
Hmm.
And because we just have different perspective and seeing the world as it is.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. When it comes to people making these choices, how can they approach you without, because it can be scary territory. Like, how can they get that courage to approach you to help them with the choices?
Yeah, so there's few things I normally do. First, I wanting to ensure that we all have different story. We all have different past. Some of them are very empowered, like woo-ha, and some of them might not as pleasant as what they want it is.
Mm,
And I just wanting to ensure all of them that all their story is unique and this happened for a reason.
yes.
Sometimes when we're still stuck in the past because we haven't figured out what's the story or that experience teach us yet.
Hmm.
So usually my clients come to me, we will have a check and share with the story. It's almost like an open purge and let them just purge out whatever they need to.
Just blah.
Yeah, just blur. And after that, they will, because awareness. is the first step towards change.
Yeah,
And I will help them to see in different perspective of what they have experiencing and trying to find out what's the wisdom underlying of those experience.
and also to expand out on that is when we say everything happens to us for a reason, nobody
Mm.
said that reasoning was good.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said the reasoning was bad.
Yeah.
It's just a reason for you to decide because something bad can happen to you so that you understand that you don't want this to happen anymore. So you need to go in a different direction.
Yes, it is. Sometimes life have different events
Mm.
come to us and teach us maybe, hey, you have to detour. This not the
Mm.
path. Go to
Mm.
this one.
Yeah, this way.
And yes, and I also I'm also a business owner and I have a little cafe and sometimes I teach my staff as well as here is a knife. You can use that knife to kill somebody, or you can use that knife to cook up a meal. So it
Choose the
really
meal.
depends. Yeah, just the meal, right? It really depends how we utilize what is comes to our way to choose different path.
Mm. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I love that metaphor. Make a meal and make it something for
Yes,
yourself that you're going to enjoy. If you don't like pepper, don't put pepper in it. And don't be judged by
absolutely.
those people who like pepper. Let them put pepper in it. That's fine.
Yes, yes. And because like we all have our own story and understanding of our world, but in a harmonious world, we also respect the other person who make their own decision and make their choice in life as
Mm.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember my grandfather and my grandmother, because very, very old school now, and my grandmother used to say to him, "Oh, you put salt on everything." And it's like, is he
Why
not
not?
allowed to? Like, why not? Like, why are you upset over it? I don't. It's just you gave it to him. I mean, if he decides he doesn't want to eat it and wants to throw it along against the wall, as long as he cleans it up, that's his decision, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
So, do you do your sessions in different languages as well?
Yes, I do. I speak main three language. I know six language, but I mainly use it in the hypnosis. I use three different language,
Yeah.
which is English, Cantonese, and Mandarin.
Wow, you're like next level stuff.
Thank you.
I only speak two languages, English and gibberish. And the gibberish is subjective.
That's
So,
also good enough.
do you find that the sessions translate well to the other languages?
Absolutely, yes. And because for either coaching and hypnosis, more is like the subconscious will receive all the suggestion and advice from that as well. So I tend to love to use their mother tongue to use, let's say, Asian type customer or from Hong Kong, which my homies. Then I will use their mother language to make it more comfortable to receive the
Yes.
suggestion.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because the brain is amazing how it can learn something in a different language, but then you learn another language and the brain has to adapt to that imagery as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Just absolutely fascinating. I absolutely love it. So, if you could give one person watching this video a piece of advice, what would it be?
Remember, we have a choice under any circumstances because your life, your choice, your say.
Love that. I got tingles. I got tingles thinking about that. Absolutely love it. So, thank you so much for joining me here today, Sue. How can people contact you?
They can either come to my website, www.susakilearn.com or tricenic
Fantastic. And if you don't speak English, you can definitely get into it in other languages.
You can speak anything to me.
I'll be there to help you. You have a choice. Love it. So thank you so much for joining me here today, and we'll catch everybody in the future. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. That was a pleasure.